struggling with a low Google Shopping Ads ROAS? Well, before you blame Google's algorithm, check these 5 product feed mistakes that are killing 90% of e-commerce accounts. I've audited hundreds of Google Ads accounts over my 12 plus years running Bigflare, and I can tell you this, when shopping campaigns underperform, it's almost always the product feed that's tripping you up. Today I'm going to show you the exact product feed issues that are destroying your shopping ROAS, and I'm going to show you exactly how to fix them. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Daryl, and I've been running a Google Ads agency called Bigflare for over 12 years now. We specialize in e-commerce, and product feeds are something we optimize for every single client day in, day out. Now, most advertisers blame their low ROAS on bids, budgets, or competition, but actually a lot of low ROAS issues in shopping campaigns actually come from feed quality issues. So let me walk you through the 5 critical feed mistakes that I see most often and exactly how to fix each one. All right, let's start with the biggest ROAS killer, bad product titles. Most advertisers don't specifically optimize their shopping product titles. They just use whatever title was on the website as the title in their product feed, but that's completely wrong. The title that works in shopping ads is not the same as the title that works on your website. The two things do not need to be the same, and you can specifically customize your titles for shopping ads without having to change what appears on your website. You need to think of your product titles in your product feed as your keyword targeting tool. So let me show you what I mean. An example of a bad title would be yoga mat. A good title for the same product would be best yoga exercise mat, non-slip fitness workout mat for Pilates, home gym equipment, fitness accessories, purple, your brand. Do you see the difference? The first title targets just one keyword. The second title targets dozens of keywords and search queries. And here's the thing, Google Shopping is a keyword matching game. The more relevant keywords you include in your title specifically, the more searches you can appear for. More searches means more qualified traffic. And more qualified traffic means more sales. So here's my exact process for building high-performing product titles. Before you write a single title, you need to first do keyword research. Not after, before. You need to understand all the different ways people search for your products. Then you strategically pack those keywords into your titles. I break keywords into 3 different tiers. The first tier I call product keywords. These are the precise keywords for your exact product type. All the different variations and ways that people can search for it. For a yoga mat, that's going to be yoga mat, exercise mat, workout mat, fitness mat, Pilates mat, gym mat, non-slip mat. You get the picture. You want to try and get all the relevant type 1 keywords that have good search volume into your product title. These keywords have the highest conversion rate because they're precisely what you're selling. Now, once you've exhausted your type 1 keywords, you can go one level higher with broader category level keywords. These are less precisely matched to your product, but they usually have a much bigger search volume. For a yoga mat, type 2 keywords might be home gym equipment, fitness accessories, yoga gear, or workout essentials. These keywords cast a much wider net. They generally have more people searching for them, and they're less directly relevant than product keywords, but they're still relevant enough for us to want to target them. Now, the goal here is to maximize your total addressable search volume whilst staying somewhat relevant. And finally, we have type 3 keywords, your product attributes keywords. Color, size, material, thickness, etc. But here's the critical part. Only include attributes that people are actually searching for. Let me give you an example. In our yoga mat product title, we included purple. Why? Because our keyword research showed that people frequently search for specific colors of yoga mats. There was good search volume there, but we didn't include the thickness of the mat or the material it's made from. Why not? Because again, keyword research showed that people don't often search for these highly specific attributes when they're looking for yoga mats. The search volume was really low for those particular attributes. So we left them out to prioritize keywords that people actually search for in decent numbers. And same goes for other attributes like your internal SKU numbers or your collection names like Summer 2025 collection or any other product attributes that nobody searches for. If it doesn't get searched, it doesn't go in the title. These type 3 attribute keywords are the lowest priority because they have the smallest impact on search volume. And you do need to be selective about which attributes actually earn their place in the title. Now, aside from these 3 types of keywords, the very last element is your brand name. You generally always want to include it at the very end of the product title. This builds brand recognition and trust and is definitely worth tacking on at the end there. Now, one thing you need to know is that Google limits titles to 150 characters, so you can't fit everything in there. You are going to need to prioritize a little bit here. Start with your type 1 product keywords. Get as many as you can into the title. Then add type 2 broader keywords. Then finally type 3 attributes if you have room and if people search for them. Always keep your store brand at the end as well. Now, if you hit the character limit, sacrifice keywords with lower search volume first. They're the least important for reaching new searchers, so they can be the first to go if you need to save space. I know optimizing your titles like this can be a bit of a pain, but it is super important for your discoverability in shopping ads. I've actually got a custom GPT that I always use to help with writing titles, so here's how you can access that and use it yourself. Alright guys, so this is the custom GPT for product title optimization. This is where I've input years and years of knowledge in product title optimization specifically into a custom GPT of my brain that you can now just copy and use for optimizing your own product titles in shopping. So what you want to do is grab the link to this custom GPT, which is in the description below this video. And when you come into the chat, you want to take the URL for your product. I'm just going to do this example product right here. Take the URL, pop it there into the chat, hit enter. The custom GPT is now going to go and scan that URL and give you a quick summary of what the product is all about so that you know that it knows what it's talking about. Then you can put in your store brand name. This is going to be what it tacks on to the end for your store brand. So in my case, I'm going to put DGI. Let's go. Then it's going to ask you if there are any keywords in particular that you want included in the title. So any keywords you now put in here, comma separated, it will make sure to include those keywords within the title. Or if you don't have any keywords that you really want to include, you can just go with no here, and then the custom GPT will go and use its own thinking and research to build out your product titles. And there you go, there's a product title that is going to be way better for my shopping ads than if I had just copy pasted this sad 3-word title here. If I just did that, things would be very sad in terms of my shopping ads, ROAS, and overall reachability compared to a title like this that just has way more keywords in there, way more opportunities to catch people in the different way that they're searching for this product. And yeah, like, don't just copy paste what the custom GPT gives you guys. I recommend you do edit it, you do review this manually and make adjustments as needed. And it is usually better to do a bit of your own custom keyword research as well and tell it specific keywords that you want in there. But this was just a quick example of how you can use it. So have at it, guys. Enjoy that one. All right, mistake number 2 is poor image quality. Your product images are everything in shopping ads. They're the first thing that people see. Bad images can really kill your click-through rate, and low CTR means higher cost per click. Now, Google has specific image requirements that you do need to be aware of. You need a minimum of 100 by 100 pixels or 250 by 250 if it's clothing. The maximum size is 64 megapixels and the max file size is 16 megabytes. You are not allowed any watermarks, promotional text, borders, or logos. And Google recommends that images should be high resolution, realistically photographed, and have a white background. Now, do note that the white background thing is a recommendation from Google, not a requirement. If you have an environment or a lifestyle background, that is technically fine with Google and it can work well for some products. So those are the requirements, but meeting minimum requirements isn't enough. You need images that get clicks and convert. Now, here's the thing about images, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. What works for one product category might tank for another. So instead of just guessing, here's my exact process. First, do competitive research. Go to Google Shopping and search for your main product keywords. Look at what images your competitors are using. Are they all plain white background product shots? Are they all lifestyle images with models? Are they all in-use shots? Whatever everyone else is doing, that's your baseline. And here's the key, you really want to stand out from the crowd. If everyone's using plain white backgrounds, try a lifestyle setting. If everyone's using human models, try a clean product on white shot. The goal is differentiation and standing out. You need your product to catch the eye when someone's scrolling through dozens of similar products. But here's the critical part, don't just guess and stick with one approach. Test. Start with Google's recommended format as your control. That's a high quality product shot on a plain white background. Then you can create a test variant. Maybe that's a model using the product, or maybe that's a lifestyle environment shot, or maybe it's a detailed close-up showing texture and quality. Test both images and track your click-through rate. The data will tell you what works. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you an example of how you can test images within your product feeds. What we're doing here with this client is we are doing shopping dupes. So actually all these items that you see here are actually the same product. Like this is the main product up here, and then what we do is we sort of duplicate the product into multiple different items, and then for each item what we do is we just make a small modification to the item ID. So the item ID is slightly different, and what that does is when you duplicate the product and change the item ID, Google now thinks this is a different product within your feed, and then with the duplicated shopping dupe item, as we call it, you can then test either a different title or you can test a different image. And what we're doing a lot of here is a lot of image testing with shopping dupes. Now, when you do image testing, first of all, you don't have to do this shopping dupes method, and you don't have to do this many images. I actually recommend you just do 2 images at any one time to keep things simple for you guys. But yeah, option 1 is to do shopping dupes, like duplicate your item, change the item ID, and then with the duplicated item, change the image, and then you collect your clicks data, and when you've got a significant amount of clicks, you can start deciding which one has the best CTR, and then use that image over the one with the lower CTR. That's one option for image testing, and the other much simpler option, if you don't want to duplicate an item in your feed and use shopping dupes, is you could just keep one item in your feed, but then you can test images by just doing on-off. Like, so week 1, use image 1. Then next week you can rotate over to image 2, and then the week after that you go back to image 1. So you can do that and keep rotating week on, week off, rotate between 2 different images until you've got enough click data to decide which image was best, and then you keep that image, right? So that's the simplest way of doing it, just like week on, week off testing, or you can do it 3 days for each image. You can split it up however you want. But yeah, there's a couple of options there for how you go about split testing your images here. I've seen products where plain white backgrounds crush it, and I've seen similar products where lifestyle shots perform 3x better. You really can't know until you test. But whatever you do, make sure your images are high quality and meet Google's requirements, because a disapproved image means 0 impressions at the end of the day. Mistake number 3 is missing out on the power of custom labels. Now, this mistake is leading you to use suboptimal campaign structures that can bleed money. Most advertisers aren't using custom labels at all, and here's why that's a problem. Custom labels are what allow you to build a proper campaign structure, and campaign structure is absolutely critical for shopping performance. Without custom labels, you're stuck with one campaign treating all products the same. Same bids, same ROAS targets, same budget allocation, and that makes no sense. Your best sellers should get more budget than your low performers. Your high margin products should have different ROAS targets than your low margin products. Your seasonal items should have their own dedicated campaigns where they're in season. And custom labels make all of this more easily possible. Now, one thing to know is there's no one-size-fits-all approach to custom labels. You need to choose a strategy that fits your business situation. Let me walk you through 2 main approaches that I use most often with my clients. Strategy number 1 is to use profit margin-based custom labels. This strategy is all about profitability. You segment your products based on profit margin. High margin products, medium margin products, low margin products. Then you can segment your campaigns based on that custom label, and now you can bid differently for each margin tier. For example, you might bid for a 3x ROAS on your high margin products, and that's because you can afford to spend more to acquire those particular sales. But you might bid 7x ROAS on your low margin products because you need more revenue per dollar spent to stay profitable. Setting it up like this ensures that every group of products is actually profitable, not just your catalog as a whole. The second strategy I use a lot is to have performance-based custom labels and campaigns. This strategy is all about optimizing based on how products are actually performing. You create custom labels for different performance tiers. For example, high ROAS products that are crushing it, low ROAS products that are struggling, low spend products that aren't even getting enough volume, and then maybe products with no sales at all. Then you can treat each group differently. Your high ROAS products get more budget because they're proven winners. Your lower ROAS products get lower bids or maybe even paused entirely. Your low spend products might get their own test campaign with higher bids, to see if more volume improves their performance. Products with no sales get reviewed to see if the issue is feed quality, pricing, or just lack of demand. Now here's another powerful way to use custom labels. Anytime you want to break out specific products into a dedicated campaign, custom labels are how you do it. Let's say it's November and you want to push your gift items hard for Christmas. Create a custom label for gift products. Then create a new campaign in Performance Max or Shopping that filters for that custom label. Now you can allocate dedicated budget to those seasonal items. Or maybe you've identified your top 20 best-selling products and you want to be really aggressive with them. Create a bestsellers custom label, build a campaign around it. Set a lower ROAS target and then let it spend. Now this is how you can take more control of your shopping campaigns. You decide which products get priority, you decide how to allocate your budget. You decide what ROAS targets make sense for different groupings of products. Let's hop over to my screen and I'll show you an example of a custom label strategy and how you can set up your own campaigns based on custom labels. Okay guys, so here's an example of a client account where we're running a custom label strategy in their Google Ads. So if we come over to products for their Performance Max and Shopping Ads products, you can see their products in here. And if we scroll over to the right here, we can see that we are using custom label number 4 to put in a custom label based on ROAS performance, right? So we've got a custom label for high ROAS for this product. This custom label says low ROAS for that product. And we've got other custom labels in here. We'd have to scroll down for quite a while to find them, but we've got other custom labels like zombies or 0 clicks or 0 sales products. So we are feeding in the custom labels to segment our products based on their performance, right? And then what you can do is you can create your campaign and asset group structure around your custom label. So for example, let's say you're creating a new campaign or you're creating a new asset group. When you get into the asset group creation section of building out your new campaign, you are going to see this bit here, product groups. So if you click the pencil icon and instead of using all products, what you want to do is use a selection of products. And now you can come to custom labels, and now what you can do is you can build campaigns around your custom label strategy. So let's say for this campaign I was making a campaign for my high ROAS products. I would filter custom label 4 for the high ROAS products, build this campaign around that, and hey presto, I now have campaigns that are built around my custom labels. If I ever update my custom labels, my campaign structure gets updated automatically for me as well. Now before we get on to the next mistake, I want to share something that could transform your Google Ads performance. My agency Big Flare can fully manage all your shopping and Google Ads for you to help you scale up and push past that plateau that's been blocking you. All my Google Ads managers on my team have more than 10 years experience, and me myself, I've been in this industry close to 20 years. We specialize in helping e-commerce businesses like yours to scale with Google Ads, Shopping Ads, Performance Max, and everything in between. So if this is the kind of help you need, then hit the link in the description below this video, and we can start things off by doing a free audit of your Google Ads account so you can see exactly what kinds of changes we would make to help you grow your ads profitably. All right, now let's talk about GTINs. GTIN stands for Global Trade Item Number. It's that barcode number on your products. And how much GTINs matter for you depends a lot on what you're selling. Here's the key distinction. If you're a reseller, GTINs are absolutely critical. When Google has your GTINs, it can reference global data about that product from other sellers. It knows pricing benchmarks, it has reviews and ratings from across the web. It understands exactly what you're selling thanks to the GTIN. Now this is actually huge for resellers because you're competing on the same products as everyone else. Missing GTINs can therefore limit your reach by quite a significant amount. But if you're selling your own branded products, the impact is different. GTINs are still important to avoid Google limiting your reach artificially, but they won't give you the same boost as they do for resellers. Why? Well, that's because there's not that much global data for Google to reference in the first place. Your products don't exist on other sites normally, so Google can't pull in that rich comparison data. You still want GTINs to keep Google happy and avoid restrictions, but they're not going to be your biggest performance lever. Now, if you are a reseller, finding GTINs is usually quite straightforward. Check your manufacturer's website, look at your supplier catalogs, or search the GS1 database. Most of the time, you'll find them easily because they already exist. If you're selling your own branded products, you'll need to register for GTINs through GS1. The process is really simple. It costs about $250 per year for up to 10 products. More products cost more, and it goes from there. You register your company, and they give give you a unique company prefix. Then you can generate GTINs for all your products. All right, let's hop into a quick screen share so I can show you how to find any GTIN issues in your Google Merchant Center and also how you can find those product GTINs easily online. All right, guys, so to find GTIN issues, if there are any in your product feed, come into Google Merchant Center, click here where it says products, and click here where it says needs attention. If you see this screen, then just click view all issues. And then if you do have any GTINs that are missing or invalid, you should see it up here. And then what you can do is you can click here. See, it says invalid GTIN. So click here where it says view products. Then once you've clicked view products, you're going to see a filtered view of any products where you've got an invalid or missing GTIN. These are the ones where you now need to go and find your GTIN and input it into the product feed for these specific products so that you can maximize your reach for these products. Now your GTIN is the same as your barcode. So it looks like that. You can find the barcode for your products. If you're reselling other brands' products, it's going to have a barcode. You can use the barcode as the GTIN. If you're having difficulty finding it, you can also use one of the global GTIN lookup databases to find your GTINs. So URL is ean-search.org for this one. And then you can just simply look for what your product is. Let's say Apple iPhone 16 Pro Max. Search for your product in here, find the relevant one, and you'll be able to get the exact GTIN code for that product if you're having difficulty finding it from your own barcode. So bottom line on GTINs, resellers, this is non-negotiable. Get your GTINs sorted immediately. Own brand sellers, don't stress about this as much. Focus on the other feed elements first, but do get GTINs eventually to avoid any reach limitations. Now this last mistake is subtle but should not be ignored. Most advertisers completely overlook the product type field, or they fill it in once and then forget about it. But this field is your most powerful tool for keyword targeting after the product title, and hardly anyone is using it properly. So let me clarify something first. Google product category is a required field, and it's different to product type. Google product category is Google's taxonomy with over 5,500 predefined categories. You have to use their categories exactly as they define them. But product type is different. Product type is completely customizable. You can put whatever you want in there. And here's the critical part. Google uses your product type field for keyword matching, just like it does with your title. Now here's where this gets powerful. You can make your product type up to 4 levels deep, and then each level separated by a greater than symbol. Let me show you what I mean with a real example. Okay, bad product type, yoga mat. Good product type, home fitness, yoga equipment, exercise mats, non-slip yoga mats. Do you see the difference? The first one targets one keyword phrase, and then the second one targets multiple high-volume search terms across 4 different specificity levels. Now here's how to build product types that maximize your reach. Level 1 should be your broadest category with the highest search volume. For example, home and fitness, or kitchen and dining, or beauty and personal care. These are massive volume keywords. They cast the widest net. Then level 2 should narrow down to your product category, like yoga equipment, or cooking utensils, or skincare products. Still broad, but now we're getting more specific. Level 3 should then identify your specific product type. Exercise mats, wooden spoons, face serums. This is where you're getting more precise still. And then level 4 should include your most specific attributes or keywords. Non-slip yoga mats, or heat-resistant wooden spoons, or anti-aging face serums. This final level captures high-intent specific searches. Here's a critical part that most people miss. Don't just make up these hierarchies, do keyword research first. Go in Google Keyword Planner and actually use it. Look at actual search volumes for different ways people describe your products. Then build your product type hierarchy using those high volume keywords. For a yoga mat, keyword research might show home gym equipment, 74,000 monthly searches. Yoga equipment, 2,000 monthly searches. Exercise mats, 12,000 monthly searches. Non-slip yoga mats, 4,000 monthly searches. You want to research all the keywords in your product niche to build out a list of relevant terms like this that get good search volume. Okay, so let me just show you an example of where you can find your product type field. If you come into Google Merchant Center, click on products, scroll down to whatever product you want to optimize, click the pencil icon over here. Then you'll come to your product details here. If you scroll down right underneath the image there, you're going to see here product type. And you can see here's an example of a bad product type. It's not well optimized. It hasn't gone 4 levels deep. It's not got good keywords in there that match the search intent. So let me give you an example of how we could do better here. All right, so there's an example of a better product type field. You can see what I've done is I've made it 4 levels deep. There's level 1, health and household, then the greater than symbol, then level 2, nootropics and cognitive support, and then the greater than symbol, then magnesium supplement, and then the greater than symbol, and then the final level, MagTIN, magnesium L-threonate. What you can see there is we are now full of keywords in there, and it's separated into 4 different levels, going more specific as we go down the levels. This is how you want to optimize your product types, guys. Now, normally we optimize the product type within our feed management tool. If you're using a third-party feed management tool, that would be the place to go log in and optimize your product type. I'm just showing you how to do it in Google Merchant Center because you are probably using a different feed management tool to me. But if you're not using a dedicated feed management tool and you just want to log into Google Merchant Center to update your product type, this is how you do it. Pencil icon, come to this product type field here. But yeah, you can also do this within your feed management tool. The beauty of product type is it works alongside your title. More keyword matching opportunities, more relevant searches, more qualified traffic. And because it's completely customizable, you can test different keyword combinations. You can see what drives the best results. And then you can optimize accordingly. Most advertisers leave this field blank, or they just copy their website navigation. That's a massive missed opportunity. You should take the time to build proper 4-level product types with well-researched keywords. And this way, you'll be taking every opportunity you can to tell Google exactly what keywords you want to be ranking for. Now, here's where this gets really powerful. When you fix all 5 of these issues, the results compound. Better titles increase your reach. Quality images boost your CTR. Custom labels help optimize for profitability, and GTINs improve your matching, especially for resellers, and give Google more data to work with. And then finally, correct product types ensure Google gets the right message on who you want to target. Put all these things together and your ROAS and shopping ads will thank you. I've seen it happen dozens of times. Accounts go from struggling at a plateaued ROAS to suddenly pushing past record-busting ROAS numbers once the product feed has been properly fixed. All from feed optimization. Not fancy bidding strategies, not overly complex campaign structures, just a clean, optimized product feed. Now, if you want to dive deeper into e-commerce Google Ads optimization, check out my video right up here on the 4 Performance Max campaigns that print money. It shows you exactly how to structure your campaigns once your feed is optimized. And yes, this structure works whether you're using standard shopping or Performance Max. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.